The movie begins in a world suffocating under the belief in a deadly disease, an infection said to lurk beyond the city's high walls, devouring the world outside and justifying a regime built on fear. 95 years after those walls rose, the people inside still cling to the lie, never imagining the truth buried beneath it. We meet Abigail as a joyful child, playing with her father Jonathan in the forbidden woods just outside the city's boundary. He knows he's breaking the rules, but for Abigail's happiness, he's willing to risk anything. The bond between them is warm, full of laughter, a rare light in a world ruled by paranoia. A year later, that light begins to fade. Abigail and her father return home late one evening to find William Garrett, Jonathan's old friend and chief of the special department, waiting at their door. Abigail greets him with innocent excitement, unaware of the storm that's about to strike, while her father's face shifts from warmth to dread. Garrett demands Jonathan leave with him immediately, claiming official orders. But Jonathan asks for a moment, slips into his room, and hides something in the wall. Abigail secretly watches. When he emerges, he kneels before her and hands her a necklace, telling her it contains all his memories of her. She hugs him tightly, not knowing it's their last. That night, screams slice through the air as inspectors storm the neighborhood, dragging away anyone they deem infected. Abigail watches in terror as families are torn apart. Then she sees her father taken, labeled diseased, and marched into the darkness. Her world collapses in a single night. 9 long years pass. Abigail is now a teenager, but the trauma lingers. She wakes one morning, floating above her bed, levitating, until she clasps the necklace, bringing her body back down. It's clear the necklace suppresses something inside her, something powerful. Her day spirals when bullies kidnap her friend, forcing Abigail into a risky nighttime challenge inside an abandoned building. She retrieves the flare required to win, but inspectors arrive mid-game. When one attacks her, she fights back, unmasking him and discovering it's Roy, her father's old acquaintance. Shocked, she flees. The next day, Roy hunts her through the marketplace, but Abigail's mother manages to knock him out. They tie him up, and Abigail cuts a desperate deal. She'll keep quiet about Roy's forbidden visits to his family if he reveals information about her father. Cornered, Roy agrees and offers a map of the special department tunnels and a lead. Abigail sneaks into the home of the man Roy mentioned, but she finds nothing. When the man returns, he reports her to the special department and heads to their base. Unaware, Abigail has slipped into his car. On the road, a mysterious rebel wielding a glowing magical weapon stops them, forcing the man to continue to headquarters. Abigail escapes into the tunnels. Deep underground, she witnesses infected citizens being transported somewhere unknown. Alarms blare, forcing her above ground, right into the middle of a battle she never dreamed possible. People are fighting with magic. An inspector attacks, firing spells at her, but something inside Abigail erupts. Magic bursts from her body, knocking the man backward before she collapses. The mysterious rebel rescues her and leaves her in a strange, vibrant place filled with people openly practicing magic. When she awakens, bewildered, she meets Spencer, who takes her to a magician named Marcus. Marcus senses tremendous power inside her. Abigail also meets Norman, a brilliant engineer, and when she touches one of his devices, raw magic blasts out with overwhelming force. Spencer asks Bale, the leader of the rebel magicians and the man who saved Abigail, to train her. Bale refuses, consumed with preparing a revolution only 2 days away. Spencer pushes, and Bale reluctantly agrees to give Abigail one chance, but she fails the first test, unable to channel her powers through a magical object. She begs for another chance and explains she only wants to save her father. But Bale coldly reveals that Jonathan created a device used by the government to strip magicians of their abilities, making him an enemy to their cause. Abigail refuses to believe it. She knows there's more to the story. Confused and desperate, she turns to Spencer, who explains that magical objects can do everything: attack, heal, reveal hidden paths, and open secret doors. Suddenly, Abigail realizes her father hid something in their house years ago. Something magical. She races home, unlocks the secret wall compartment, and finds drawings, files, and a powerful object tied to her father's work. Roy helps her decode the notes. All captured magicians are transported by flying ship to a floating island far beyond the city. Abigail rushes to tell Bale, hoping to persuade him, but Bale cares only about his rebellion, blinded by anger. With no help, she decides to go alone. That night, Roy leads her toward the ship, but Garrett intercepts them. He holds up Abigail's necklace, the one that's been suppressing her power, and attempts to sway her. He claims he wants to strip magic from the population so everyone is equal. But Abigail sees the truth. It's about control. When she refuses, he orders Roy to kill her. Roy defies him, and Garrett kills Roy in cold blood. Garrett turns to Abigail, ready to end her life, until Bale arrives, attacking with furious magic. The fight is vicious, but Garrett gains the upper hand. Seeing Bale in danger awakens Abigail's true strength. Harnessing her father's object, she unleashes her power and kills Garrett. Together they escape, though Bale remains fixated on his revolution. The next day, Abigail infiltrates the Special Department headquarters in search of the flying ships, while Bale launches his attack. Something feels wrong. Too quiet. Suddenly, Abigail appears before him, warning that the department has laid an ambush. At that exact moment, inspectors flood the area, overwhelming the rebels. Bale refuses to flee, staying behind to buy time. He's captured by Garrett, alive after all, and learns Stella betrayed the rebels, unable to support Bale's extreme path. Meanwhile, Abigail rallies the remaining rebels with a fiery speech. She opens her father's object, and a small fairy-like entity emerges, offering to guide them. Inspired, the rebels follow her. As they escape the collapsing base, Abigail sees inspectors storming in. Spencer sacrifices himself, detonating powerful magic to take them down. With the fairy as navigator, Abigail leads the rebels into the Special Department base, rescues Bale, and hijacks a flying ship bound for the floating prison. They travel through a magical barrier and arrive at the Grim Island facility. Disguised as inspectors, Bale's group seizes control of the compound, but time is running out. Garrett and his forces are close behind. Abigail searches desperately for her father, but instead discovers a massive machine draining magic from prisoners, preventing them from fighting back. With Norman's help, she ventures deeper into the prison and is suddenly overwhelmed by visions, her father's memories. She learns Jonathan refused to help Garrett weaponize magic, so they forced him to merge with it entirely. His essence now lives inside the magic itself, watching over Abigail and guiding her. Garrett arrives with full force. Chaos erupts. Bale battles him directly, but Garrett's mastery is overwhelming. He knocks Bale down, raises a weapon to finish him, only for Stella to jump in and take the fatal strike meant for him. Her last act is one of sacrifice, not betrayal. Empowered by her father's spirit, Abigail destroys the machine, unleashing magic back into the prison. The tide shifts instantly. Magicians regain their power, rebels rise again, and Bale seizes the moment, striking down Garrett once and for all. Magic floods the world in brilliant waves, restored to everyone who once wielded it. In the aftermath, Abigail meets her father within her mind one final time. He assures her he will always be with her, living in the magic she now commands. As dawn breaks, Abigail and Bale look out over a reborn world, share a victorious kiss, and embrace the new future ahead. And if you enjoyed this journey, make sure to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more epic movie recaps just like this.